welcome back to my channel. I'm Delilah Rose. This is Delilahs Spiritual Spot, and this is going to be something totally different. This is just going to be something I do for fun, and I hope that you guys enjoy it as well. It's going to be called Tarot and Villains. So every week or every month, I'm going to take a villain and I'm going to give them a tarot card reading. I'm going to choose one of my favorite villains, Annie Wilkes, from the movie and the book Misery. Now, my close friends know that I'm obsessed with this movie. I am obsessed with her. I think especially in the book, they did a real good job of going into her background, so we know that she is a serial killer. The movie alludes to that when Paul Sheldon finds her scrapbook. So if you're not familiar with the movie, so Annie Wilkes is a person who basically is obsessed with Paul Sheldon. He's an author. He gets in a bad car accident. She rescues him, and then she traps him in her house and, you know, basically tortures the person until he escapes. So if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's an awesome, awesome film by Stephen King. So here we go into Anne Marie Wilkes, or Annie Wilkes. So Annie Wilkes was born in Bakersfield, California on April 1st, 1943. She graduated from the University of Southern California Nursing School with honors. And it's even at the hospital where she kills patients and also children in the maternity ward. Let's see. So I'm going to put a major arcana card for her. So let's go Annie Wilkes, the Hermit, which, if you've seen the movie, and again, I suggest you see the movie, she is living that hermit life, right? So after she was tried, she was ultimately not convicted for lack of evidence in the book. So she moves to a farm in the middle of nowhere and is in total solitude. So she is living the hermit life, which I love that card came out for her. The two decks I'm going to use are by M.J. Cullinan, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's the Crow Tarot, and it's also called the Guardian of the Night. So this is the Guardian of the Night, and this is the Crow Tarot. So we're going to begin by drawing some cards here. I just want to bring up my notes on Annie Wilkes again, because what I've told you is from memory, and I'm not going to edit any of this out because, you know, life is not edited and this is for fun. So yes, this is the notes I want, and I'm just going to enlarge it because I am working without glasses. So there we are. So let's get into this read. So if Annie Wilkes came to me before or after Paul Sheldon, what information can we gather about Miss Annie Wilkes? What information can the tarot give us about Annie Wilkes, one of my favorite villains, Annie Wilkes? Thank you. So we have the King of Cups, right? So the King of Cups in reverse speaks to someone who abuses power, right? It's the person's not very empathetic. It's emotional abuse because it's the cups, right? So we know that Miss Annie Wilkes was possibly abused. Now, she does kill her father off. We do learn that she murders her own father, as well as you know, her neighbors. Here we have the Four of Swords, right? So what we know of Annie is that she's had some abuses or some emotional abuses in her life, followed by this Four of Swords. Now, swords is all about your mind, so we know that there's some mental illness there, and we know that the Four of Swords is about having rest and recovery. We know that she's never recovered, so this is giving reverse vibes. So we know that Annie has not ever recovered mentally from this King of Cups situation. And we have the Two of Pentacles, right? So not only is has Annie been abused, right? Emotionally. We know that she's never recovered for it. The Two of Pentacles is about, it's a balance card, right? So it's also about choices, weighing options, and Pentacles is the physical manifestation of those options. So we know that she always had two roads to take here, to 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 seek help and healing, or to continue on her dark path. Now we know she continues on her dark path and she dies for it, right, in the end. But having killed at least 18 people, I know that, on some boards it goes back and forth about exactly how many people she's murdered. So we know she's murdered her neighbors, her father. She's murdered her competition in high school, I believe, or college, her roommate. That's why she was able to graduate at the top of her class. She bumped the other girl off. We know that she's killed patients. We know that she's killed children in the maternity ward. She kills the sheriff who comes to rescue Paul Sheldon. I mean, the list just goes on and on for her. She is what I call a proper serial killer. Can you give me any further insights on this character, Annie Wilkes? Oh, two cards here. We have the Moon card, right? This is her hidden life, because when you meet her in the film, she seems like a nice older lady who's living by herself in her hermit life, in her solitude, but she has that duality within her, that dark, right? She presents light, she looks innocent enough, but there's that darkness that's a part of her. We know that she's a control freak, right? Because people who commit murder or who assert their power over people is trying to take that control back. So here is the Emperor card representing that part of her personality. We also have the Queen of Wands. Despite her being a nut job and a serial killer, she's kind of taken her own destiny in her own hands, right? So, and this is by no means glorifying anyone who commits murder. This is strictly fictional villains. She is that Queen of Wands, right? No matter what happens to her, no matter if she's been caught once or twice, she always wiggles her way out of that. And that's part of her intellect, right? Because she is very smart. She's extremely smart and has outwitted everyone. And this is why she's not gone to jail and not been convicted of anything up until the end of the movie, because she just knows how to manipulate, how to seem the innocent, how to play the victim. And I love that these cards came out representing Annie Wilkes. Now, Annie Wilkes in the film dies at the end. Paul Sheldon kills her. In the film, they wrestle. He hits her over the head with some type of figurine that's heavy weighted, but ultimately he trips her up. She falls and bangs her head on the typewriter, and she passes away. But she's still kind of seen as a winner, and this is the oddity about the movie, is because when someone traumatizes you that often, she's made her impression on him. Even in the film, he still fantasized seeing other people who represent her. So she haunts him, even though she's dead. She's still a part of that story, of his story. And ultimately, that's probably a goal she was looking for, because in the end, she's still kind of the emperor. She still represents that. And this is my tarot card reading for Annie Wilkes of the movie Misery and the novel Misery by Stephen King.